If you've been struggling to connect with your dream time, to have lucid dreams, or even just to remember your dreams in general, it could be because your morning routine is not working for you. So in this video, I'm going to break down the perfect morning routine for cultivating a relationship with your dream time, working on your lucid dreaming skills, and also just starting the day right so you can feel enlivened and really productive throughout your day. So many of us go to our phones first thing, or think about what emails we have to answer, or what tasks we have to do first thing in the morning. And although those things are great and important to do, you shouldn't be doing them when you first wake up. What you need to do is really stick with your dreams. And you might say, well, that sounds lovely, but I have a million things to do in the morning. I cannot afford to set aside time for a morning routine that's going to help me. To that, I would say, how about you just take a day out of the week, or 2 days out of the week, or 3 days out of the week to really set aside some time, maybe over the weekend, when you can stick with your dreams and your dreaming practice. You'll find that even doing that little amount is going to help you to have such vivid dreams and lucid dreams and connect in with the messages that your dream time is trying to deliver to you. So without further ado, let's jump right into this morning routine. The first thing that you want to do is stay in bed a little bit longer. Again, if you're not able to do this every morning, if you have to go to work early, that's okay. But maybe you could set your alarm, or you could wake up 15 minutes earlier some of the days if you need to do that. Alternatively, if you can over the weekend, just plan to stay in bed and let yourself really enter into waking reality more slowly, then that's great too. Try to stay in the same position as you woke up in, because when you move around, you start to lose your dreams and you start to come into this waking reality more and more. So if you can, stay in the position that you wake up in, and then go back into your dream time space without falling totally asleep, and try to catch even a little bit of what you were just dreaming about. Maybe it's a feeling you had. Maybe it's an image of the last thing you saw. Maybe it's a thought that is running through your head. You'll find that if you're able to just stay with that, what I call catching the tail of the dragon is the analogy. The dream is this giant dragon, and if you can even catch a hair on its tail, you'll be able to start having the dream flood back into you. You'll find, really, even if you're thinking, I can't remember any of my dreams, I have no idea what I was dreaming about, if you stick with it and you don't let those negative, self-defeating thoughts enter your mind, you think over and over again, I can remember my dream, I can remember at least one point of it. When you stick with that practice, eventually you will start to remember something, and then more and more and more of the dream will flood in when you give it that attention and presence. And a fun extra thing is that you might even remember that you had a lucid dream and you had just not realized it until you started to recollect your dreams, and so until you started to remember your dreams. I've had that happen to me where I wake up and I'm like, I can't remember any of my dreams, and then I'm starting to gather them back, and I'm like, wait a minute, I had a lucid dream, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this was a really amazing, deep, and profound lucid dream that would have left me completely had I not stayed in bed a little bit longer. Now, once you feel like you've collected enough of the dream that you're not going to forget it, you can make some tea or some warm water and go and sit in your living room or sit in your bed, because what you're going to be doing next is writing down your dream. So get something to get comfy, get cozy, and really let yourself step into this place of remembering and writing down your dream and giving it that attention and focus, because that's really telling and signifying to your subconscious that you care about what it has to say. You're telling the dream time, I want to listen to you. Get out your dream journal and begin writing down your dream. And there's a really nice formula you can use to collect your dream too. So what I like to do is first write down the dream, and it can be helpful too if you write it in present tense, because it really brings you back into that dream state, and it might even help you remember more details. So instead of saying, I was going to the grocery store, say, I'm in the grocery store, I turn around and I see a person in front of me. So that's an example of how you can write it in the present tense so that you're really bringing yourself back into that dream. Write out as much as you can of your dream, and then once you do, encapsulate it with a title. Giving the dreams a title really helps you when you're looking back at your dreams, as well as encompassing the overall feeling and message from the dream. With your dream then, once you've annotated both the dream itself and given it a title and given it a a date. You can also write down any big emotions that you had that were related to it, or any notes and thoughts about how it relates to your waking reality. Say that you have a big presentation the next day, and you dream about being in front of everybody and giving this presentation and it not going well. Well, of course, that's related to what you're going through in your waking reality. And so you can make that distinction and you can make that connection really easily. It might be more abstract too. Again, maybe if you have this big presentation, you dream about being back in school and failing your class, or you dream about being out with no clothes on, feeling vulnerable. That could really relate to what you're going through in your waking reality. So you're looking for these corresponding elements in your dream time and your waking reality, and you're taking note of that. For lucid dreaming, what you want to do too is to note any dream signs. And what a dream sign is something that recurs regularly in your dreams that is particular to you. And so say that you dream a lot about being in an elevator. Well, if that night you have a dream where you're in an elevator, underline or highlight the dream sign within your dream once you've recorded it. This will help you to grow a catalog of your own personal dream signs, which are really going to help you with your lucid dreaming practice. And finally, you can take any other notes that you want to about the dream itself, about if there were certain people in it or people that you think might represent other people in your waking reality. Now, if you had a lucid dream, there's another thing that you can do, which is start to annotate that even deeper. And I came up with this system of doing it and a book specifically for doing it that you can get online, but you can do it in your own dream journal too. But what this provides is a space to write down both the type of lucid dream you have, because there are different types, like out-of-body experiences, transformational lucid dreams, more mundane lucid dreams, desire fulfillment lucid dreams, meaning ones where you're going and fulfilling your desires, like eating all the sweets that you want. There's also very mystical lucid dreams, as well as dreams that are lucid and fearful, where you're overcoming those fears. So you can note what type of lucid dream it was, and then you can also note what state of lucidity you were in. Was it semi-lucid, where you kind of knew you were dreaming, but you weren't fully lucid? Was it a fully lucid and awake dream? Was it a dream where you were having an out-of-body experience? Or was it a transcendent, transformational lucid dream that almost can't be put into words because of how powerful and profound it was? Now, say you had a really interesting, profound, or troubling dream that you woke up from and wrote down. A great thing that you can do is to pull a tarot card or an oracle card or even a spread to try and clarify what messages that dream was giving to you and give you more information from your subconscious and from your intuition. The art of divination and pulling cards is one that stretches very far back, and humans have been using for a long time to give insight into waking reality, but you can also use it to give you insight into your dream time. The Lucid Living, Lucid Dreaming Oracle deck is a great one to use because it relates directly to lucid dreaming and it gives you messages, and there's specific spreads that you can pull in order to get clarification about the dreams that you had last night. And also you can use a combination of decks. So you could pull one card from the Lucid Dreaming, Lucid Living Oracle deck, you can pull one from your other favorite Oracle deck, you can pull one from your favorite Tarot deck. By pulling these cards and really clarifying what you were dreaming about and what the message was in there, it can help so much to give you a deeper insight and understanding. And when you do that, make sure to write that down in your dream journal as well. Now, I will say one thing about referencing dream dictionaries. A lot of people like to do that, and if that's something you like, that's fine. But you also don't want to become overly dependent on other people's interpretations, because you really want to tune into your own, like we talked about earlier, dream signs and your own meaning making, because it's coming from you. The one time that I'll look things up is if I have a dream with an animal in it, and I like to look up, okay, what is the symbolism of that animal? And a lot of times it does resonate with what I feel like is going on in the dream, but you don't want to become overly dependent on these external sources. Living with lucidity and dreaming with lucidity is really about finding your own internal compass, your internal guidance system, where you know what you're experiencing in these lucid realms, both while you're asleep as well as while you're being lucid during the day. So you're trying to develop this relationship with your inner knowing. The next thing you can do, if you want, is to share it with somebody else in your life. For so many cultures and for so many centuries, humans have been sharing their dreams as a part of their community. And I will say with that again, as the disclaimer with dream dictionaries, you don't want to become overly dependent on what other people think of your dream or how they interpret it. Maybe they'll have interesting ideas, maybe they won't, but really just the art and act of sharing dreams together can be such an amazing bonding space where you're able to come to this other person and tell them what's going on in your inner worlds and hear what's going on in their inner worlds. And sometimes by the act of actually saying your dream out loud too, you get these other insights or these aha moments, or maybe you even remember something else in your dream that you hadn't remembered before. So that's another nice part of your morning routine. Once you've left your cocoon of remembering your dream yourself, going to people that you love and trust and sharing it with them. And once you've done all of those things, then I would say, okay, you can start to exit your morning moment of your space that you've carved out for your own dream practice, and you can start in your day. You can make breakfast, you can listen to an interesting podcast, read an interesting book about lucid dreaming if you have some more time and you're able to take the time and carve out the time rather than just going straight into your work day. It can be really inspiring to read a book about lucid dreaming if that's something that you're really interested in that moment. And you'll find that if you do this practice regularly, that it blossoms to you like a beautiful rose opening itself up, because your dream time is seeing that you value it, you want to pay attention to it, you want to learn from it, so you're beckoning it out to you. And as you do, you'll find that you remember more and more of your dreams and that you become lucid more often because you're really giving it the focus and attention that it needs. It's just like any other practice. If you do it regularly, you will progress in the skill of doing it. And if you don't, you won't. So if you do the practice of remembering your dreams, you'll get better and better at remembering them. And then if you take on the practice of lucid dreaming, you'll have more and more lucid dreams. So if you feel called and excited about embarking on the journey of lucid dreaming, living with more lucidity, and really just connecting to your dream time in general, try this morning routine out and let me know how it goes.